RBI has published the data and statistics for August 25. So let's see how does Indian credit card market look like in August 25, how many cards they have added, what is the spend and everything. We will study for the industry as well as bank wise. So without further ado, let's get into the details. So let's first understand what we are going to cover. So we'll be using Role IQ Spark BI for this study, and the metrics that we are going to cover is CIF growth, how the cards in force has grown over time, how the spend value has changed, how the transaction volume has changed, how does spend per card has changed over time. Again, everything will be studied monthly and YTD, transaction per card, and spend per transaction, which is as good as average ticket size in one swipe, how much you are purchasing. At the end, we will also study an animated transaction per chart versus average ticket size because that actually gives you a very good indication of how things have changed from the time UPI has been introduced on credit card. All these things will be studied monthly, YTD, so that you can compare which is growing faster than the industry, which is growing lesser than the industry, all those things. And we'll do bank-wise study as well as the overall trend. So, lot of comparison against the industry trend will happen. And the tool that will be used here primarily is Role IQ Spark BI. So let me explain you what is Role IQ part here. Role IQ essentially means that what report and what data you will see will be as per the user rights. In other BI systems also you can do it, but what we have realized that no matter how many times people do, because you are giving access user over user. So what happens at the end of the day, your one mistake and your whole policy goes for a toss. So if you go here, like right now I've entered as a zone leader, you can see only these two reports. And let's say if you want to proceed on these two reports, you will see that it is automatically putting a filter. You're just seeing the zone 1 data here. Similarly, like if you I log in using other ID, you will see that the person can see altogether different report, because here what report you will see and what data you will see will actually look at now. Here it's two different reports. What data and what report you will see, it all depends on what is your user rights. So essentially, if you look at it, it's almost one-sixth of the data that this guy is seeing. So that is the role IQ. Role IQ means what report and what data you will see as per the rights, user rights. And the second part is that actually Spark BI. What does it mean? That many times people are in like the moment any software comes, the leadership expects that you should be able to show them very quickly, and that gets done here by AI generated. So essentially, the moment you keep the data, the AI generates the dashboard, and this itself should cover probably 70% of the business requirement. After that, using this tool, you can configure probably in 5 minutes, you can easily configure 15 metrics. So that makes it as good as a Spark. That's the meaning of Roller Spark BI. But without with let's just go into the main thing that we wanted to discuss here, which is all about RBI related stuff, how things are changing. So let's just log in, and as you can see, with different user rights, you see different things here. In fact, even different tabs. So there are some tabs which appears only when you have the right. You can see it's getting 4 reports here. Another dashboard here. So let's just go to the RBI stuff that I was talking, and I'll go to the custom stuff here. So what does it say? It says, first of all, let's study the card in force analysis. It says that as of this month, we have actually 112.31 million card. In crore, it is as good as 11 crore 23 lakhs card as of August. And in this month, if you look at from here to here, 691 card has been 1000 card has been added. 6 lakhs 91,000 cards have been added overall in the industry CIF. Now let's look at bank wise. Which bank has added how much? So the maximum addition has been done by HDFC, which is usually the case. They have added 221,000 So 2,21,000, followed by Axis, followed by ICICI, followed by IDFC, and then comes SBI. SBI is actually coming fifth almost from 3 4 times. And look at Federal. Even Federal has added as much as probably SBI. So Federal is growing very fast. And the biggest loser is actually RBL. I'll be providing all these things in a PDF file so that you can actually see those things very well. So that's all about in absolute value. Let's look at in percentage terms. So if you look at industry has added 0.62% here, right? So who has added how much? So if you look at in this month, Federal has added 4.6% on its base. So it's growing with much acceleration, followed by IDFC 2.48, and others. Others are a very small, like which I'll prove you very soon when I'll show you spend or card. In fact, even in terms of card, if you look at where they stand, they'll be like much smaller, but they are adding good percentage. And these are the people who are look at even SBI has grown less than the industry. Canada has grown less than the industry, but HDFC has grown more than the industry. So that's how their market share will increase over time. Now look at YTD. So essentially, how many cards have been added in this entire 2025? So essentially, you are comparing August 25 base against December 24 base. So 42 lakh 61,000 cards have been added, 4%, 3.94% jump in the base. In that, in absolute term, HDFC is the first 1.88, followed by SBI 1.08, followed by IDFC 653, 6 lakh 53, 66,000 card or 6 lakh 65,000 card, followed by Axis, followed by Federal, followed by ICICI. ICICI is actually losing steam here. And look at RBL, they have lost almost 5 lakhs card, Kotak 4.33 lakhs card, and Standard Chartered. These are bleeding portfolio in some sense in terms of at least the base. Now look at percentage wise YTD. So YTD percentage wise 3.94 is the industry percentage. Let's compare it against other people. So you can see Federal has added 37% on its base. HSBC has added 20%, IDFC 20%, City 11%. And these are the people who are like SBI is doing at least in the entire year, it is doing here 3.94. HDFC is at 8% on their base. So quite good in YTD terms. And these are the big who are bleeding badly, like Standard Chartered, RBL, Kotak, AU, all these things. Now look at spend wise. Last month we had 1.94 trillion spent. This month we have 91 trillion spent. 1.91 trillion is as good as 1 lakh 91,000 crore in Indian rupees. So this is how the industry trend is going on. Now just look at bank wise how things are. So bank wise, biggest has been HDFC 538 billion, which actually means 53,873 crore in Indian rupee, followed by ICICI, followed by SBI, followed by Axis, and then you have others. Now, as I told you that others actually is very small portfolio, which you can see here. So others are actually contributing approximately 1.25%. This red line is giving you percentage like HDFC is contributing 28% of the total spend of the industry, followed by ICICI 18%, and then SBI 17.3%. Look at YTD. YTD means entire 2025 what how things have been. So 14.95 trillion has been the total credit card spend. Out of that, 4.17 trillion is directly only from HDFC. So if you look at in 1 month, if you ask me, in 1 month, like what is the industry in the 8 months of HDFC is as good as probably the YTD spend of the, uh, you know, if you look at 1.91 is the trillion is the industry spend of 1 month. So essentially HDFC, if you look at YTD, it has done 3 times of the industry spend because of roughly 28% of the market share. Followed by you have ICICI, SBI, Axis, and others. And again, you can see others are just contributing 1.27%. So whatever is getting left from here is minuscule. RBL it's contributing 3.82% of the market share in terms of YTD spend. Look at transaction volume. How many times people are swiping the card? It is 493 million, or you can say 49 crore times people are swiping their card in India. This is a jump, and it is bound to have the jump, and I'll prove it to you why there is a jump here. Now let's understand in transaction wise what is who has the bigger share. So you can see all of HDFC, SBI is coming number 2 here, ICICI, Axis, which also proves probably ICICI has slightly higher percentage of corporate, because in corporate you have bigger ticket size but lesser transactions. So this is how it is happening. And look at YTD transactions. YTD 3.64 billion transactions has happened, and obviously again the ratio remains the same. Now something interesting is spend per card. Every card of the industry, if you look at industry wide, it's 17,020 rupees kind of that every card holder is spending on an average in the industry. So that's how the trend goes, and obviously like you can see, this is how it is slightly going down. But look at card by card. Now look at bank by bank. So you can see Amex is max 38,000, followed by IndusInd 29,000, HDFC, Axis, City. Then you have South Indian. And look at from here, almost everybody is less than the industry average. So these are the four, five which are more than the industry: Amex, IndusInd, HDFC, ICICI, City. And after that, if you look at if you look at, these are the range, like which are in the range of 16, 18,000, 18,000, and then you have 16,000. So 16, and now you see here, from here to here almost everything is between 15 to 14, which is RBL, SBI, HSBC, IDBI, yes. And then and Axis, and then comes again 12,000, which are these two, Federal and Kotak. Look at here, then again you have a step down like 10,000, yeah, 11,000 range, which is Bob, Standard Chartered, IDFC, and AU. So you can see, like, obviously these four looks very similar. Then you have these two, Federal and Kotak, and then you have these almost six, seven, which are very much same. Then these are slightly on the higher side, and these are like damn good here. Others have very less, and Coinera obviously probably have a lot of inactive card and something. That's why they have the least spend per card. Look at YTD figure again, 16.90, and the trend almost remains the same, almost same. Look at transaction per card. How many transactions are happening per card in the month? In the month is 4.39, which you can see. And bank wise also, the bank wise, surprisingly, the maximum number of transactions happening is on per card is actually on Yes. Then HDFC, ICICI, Axis, IDFC, which actually in some sense I am expecting that they have probably higher number of RuPay cards, because in RuPay cards UPI transactions are allowed, and that's why you have a lot of transactions here. SBI is less. Then you look at here, it's almost like there is these two, five, and then you have these two, and then these are almost similar, and then again these two, and then look at here, again something in the range of sub, and these are the least. YTD, if you look at 4.12, and again you can see the trend. Now look at spend per transaction. In one swipe, how much people are spending? In one swipe, people are spending almost 3,870 rupees. And this goes down, but that is all because of UPI transaction, which I'll prove you very soon the moment I show you animation. So bank wise, if you look at, Citi has the max, probably because of corporate portfolio, followed by Amex. Then you have IndusInd and RBL. Again, they have good ticket size, really good ticket size, and RPL is surprisingly as good as like doing a lot of transaction in one, or might be probably they have less number of RuPay card or something. And then you have a lot of, even look at HDFC, is like ticket size not huge, because probably they have a bigger portion of UPI transactions coming here. And then the same ratio for UPI, YTD. Again, you can see YTD figure is 4.1, and how the trend remains almost the same. But one very interesting thing that I want to show you here is that overall, over time, and this is the graph that is being shown quarterly. So here I am showing you, average ticket size. Look at transactions per card. So transaction per card, if you look at, it was almost static till from 22 quarter two. If you look at, so April 22, if you look at till here, I will not say it is increasing. It is roughly almost in the same range. But look at from here, it is started increasing, and probably this is the time. I think this is the time of 23 quarter four when probably UPI transactions were, partially getting allowed in the credit card, and that's why you start seeing here. So look at, it was in the range of 3.2 and 4.3 is here. So I am assuming roughly as of today almost one third transaction is happening on just UPI. Look at ticket size also was going up, and all of a sudden from quarter 4 you can see it is going down. Quarter 4 is festival also, so most likely UPI was allowed here or probably here, but obviously, or probably mostly here in 2024 Q1. And you can see the ticket size going down, down like that, because on UPI, obviously, you have lot of transactions, but ticket size is less. Let's see the same thing through a graph, also animated graph, because animation shows you many things very clearly. So here, if you look at, you know, and look at for some time, especially for some quarter, you can see they are very much, look at here. So till quarter 4, if you look at, or quarter 3, it is almost in the range of 3 to 3.2. And this is here transactions per card, how many times people are swiping. So if you look at from here to here, almost you can see half the period here till here, it was very much in the range of 3 to 3.2, but the ticket size was increasing, right? You can see ticket size was increasing. Now look at from here. After here, after probably this place, when the UPI was allowed, you can see the number of transactions keep going, and obviously ticket size keep going down, because that's the very nature of UPI transaction. And you can see that it's almost like, you'll see, it's almost the industry is falling in this line. So what does it mean? The ticket size is falling, number of transactions increasing. Do let me know how did you find it. I will provide the PDF of this particular page also. Please feel free to put any question, any comment, or if you need anything in any different format, just feel free to let me know in the comment. Thank you so much for watching.